everyone, it's Book of Katherine, and I am wearing my Sunday best. Well, I think it's my Sunday best. I don't know. I got it at a blues festival. It's the best I can think of. I think it looks like a Kentucky Derby hat. Kentucky, I hope you're happy. I hope you think that it looks like a Kentucky Derby hat. It's the best I got. Does it pass? I hope it passed, because this video is for you, Kentucky. Because boy, did you ever have a church service this weekend. Didn't you? Did we all see it? Because Google sure made sure I saw it. It was all over my feed. It was on my phone. It was on my laptop. It was on my screens. It was everywhere that I went. Rand Paul. Rand Paul has seen the light. Rand Paul has seen the light. Rand Paul has seen the light. He's on the Trump train. He's on the Trump train. Rand Paul has been inducted to the Trump train. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Rand Paul thinks President Trump is an amazing president. It sure would have been nice if he had actually voted that way, Kentucky. Especially considering that you voted for President Trump 30 points ahead of Hillary Clinton, and yet he actually voted against President Trump more than Dianne Feinstein. Just thought you should know that. Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Dianne Feinstein. 23 no's. She had 21 on the key vote issues. And I could go through all the pages I found on FiveThirtyEight where they try and make it look like he's really not that bad. Except if you really look at it, it says that he supported all these issues and he voted against them anyway, which means when he says he supported those issues, that means he went to you and said, yes, I support them, which means, yes, I'll vote for them. And then he didn't, which means he's a liar. He lies to you. He will tell you he will vote for something, and then he doesn't. That's a hard thing to look at when you see support, 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 vote no, vote no, vote no. You should never see that on a scorecard. Ever. There's no excuse for it. That's the worst kind of senator or congressman. We got a real big problem when a Republican has 14 no votes against the economy. 14 no votes. When Dianne Feinstein has 9, and we know she's funded, fully funded by the Chinese Communist Party from an amazing investigative piece by one of the most brilliant, I'll put it up here, for the last 40 years. So basically, we know that we've got one of the worst Democratic voters, worst Democrats, buried in one of the most Republican states there is. And no one caught it. We've got sites like this floating around telling us that he's in the middle. Look at that. Look at where they have him. They have him floating in the middle. And then what you see right here, if you look real closely, it says they have him ranked there by ideological ranking. Always notice those little keywords. Ideological ranking. That doesn't mean voting. All those little sites that say how they used to vote, they've discontinued those sites since 2014. Those are gone. Any ones that used to keep track of their voting record have been discontinued. How often do you vote with your party? Site no longer around. Can't even find their history. Just what people said about their history. Isn't that convenient for our congressmen? Which is why we need to clean the GOP and vote in new people instead of an incumbent. An incumbent should never be voted in again. The time of incumbents is over. It's time for new people who have no ties, no promises, no honors, nothing to another corporation, another UN dictator, another genocidal maniac. I would like to point out something to you here, by the way. This is our foreign bills. These bills were about Iran, the nuclear deals, our military sanctions against Russia. Even Dianne Feinstein voted for all of them. But not Rand Paul. He voted against every single one. When I see things like this bad, she votes yes on all of these things. He votes no on all of them. Do you know what that tells me, man? This just tells me stuff like this. I know that they're working together. He has more no votes than she has yes votes. That tells me the parties are working together. There's no GOP works here. The DNC works here. They're working across the aisle to keep themselves looking good for each other's votes. There's no way that a Republican votes Democrat in a deep southern state. And I would like to ask Kentucky where they've been when Rand Paul gets up on your stage and sings, I have seen the light, 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 I have seen the light. Trump is the guy, Trump is the guy, Trump is the guy, ignore it as I slit your throats from behind. I'm going to stab you in the back, I'm going to stab you in the back, I'm going to slit your throat, I'm going to hurt you now, but don't you worry, oh how. As long as he looks small, diminutive, cute, with the curly hair, like you could pet him, like a little pet sheep. As long as he looks like that, no harm, no foul, right? Because any man can't be evil. Only big, tall, strong-looking ones, right? Are you kidding? Napoleon was his size. Napoleon! And I do believe Hitler was a shorty. Let's get real. When it comes to politicians, we as Americans, if we really want to keep a democracy, and knowing that the UN wants to undo it, it's time for us to look at our politicians and what they do, not at what they say. And that means going beyond what the sites that are paid tell us they say. We need to go deeper and deeper and keep looking down further and further, clicking. Because to find these things, for example, to find things like this that say this is each vote, each one of these bars is a vote, and says he voted no, 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 he voted no. Each one of those you had to click open. It doesn't make it easy to find. You have to be interested in order to find it. It's called the alt media, and it's individuals like me and China Uncensored and people like us and Project Veritas and other people. The conservatives aren't interested in telling you about voting. I don't know why, but there are those of us who are. And it's the primaries. It's not election day that does it. It's the primaries where we can finally take our democracy back. And so I ask you, Kentucky, Mitch McConnell said this horrible thing. He's like, I just dare them to try. And I was like, man, I hope you take him up on it. Because if this is what Rand Paul is doing to you, I can only imagine what Mitch McConnell is doing to you. Because let me tell you, Kentucky, only 2 bills have been passed. And let me tell you, if these are the key votes, if these are just the key votes of all the votes that are coming down, if these are just the key ones of all these bills, oh my God, how many bills have been passed down? How many bills have been passed down and then remade for them and then remade for them and they keep voting no and no and no. And they're the GOP at the same side. Man, when Obama was president and he had a DNC Congress, even though he wasn't on their side, they didn't go never Obama and didn't pass anything. No, they tripled the government size by 3 times the size, made our Social Security lines on our paychecks go so high up that they're higher than our taxes. So now when we have a paycheck, our withdrawal slip is higher than our withdrawal on our taxes, and we don't get that money back. And now the federal government like how many thirds of our budget, more than half of our budget goes towards welfare programs and government assistance. It's not the military that gets all of our money. It's going towards government assistance programs. For people that if you have a stomach ache, oh, that's it. You're on government assistance for the rest of your life. Stomach cramps gets you government assistance for the rest of your life. The same amount of people on full-time jobs, that same number of people are on full-time assistance. And that's your paycheck, people. That's what you should be voting out. And it's really nice because you voted in Rand Paul and said, please make it right. Please get rid of what these DNC people did. And guess what? Dianne Feinstein's doing more to undo it than Rand Paul is. And Mitch McConnell. So they may say, I have seen the light. You should probably tell them that they ain't seen nothing yet. I'm Bookie Katherine. I'll see you on the other side. Love you guys. Clean the GOP.